Today on Rappler.
You say that you are lead convener of Kaya Natin.
Your Honor, meron po kaming caravan of good governance sa mga...
Asus, ang dami mo termino. Meron kang champion. Yung pala ang champion ay kasakli nyo. Meron kayong caravan. Yung pala ay grupo lang ninyo. Is that good governance? You're trying to mislead the Filipino public with your prestige or your influence, even only on the basis of numericality.
Harvey Kidd, the sender of anonymous files to Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile, gets clobbered in the Senate. Lead defense counsel says opening the Chief Justice's dollar accounts is not a sure thing when he testifies on Tuesday. And Dean Tony Lavinia says Ombudsman Morales' testimony is a game changer in the Corona trial. Hello, I'm Maria Ressa. Welcome to Rappler, your social news network. We promise uncompromised journalism that hopefully inspires smart conversations and ignites a thirst for change. The defense calls 3 hostile witnesses to the stand: former Akbayan Representative Risa Ontiveros, Kaya Natin convener Harvey K., and lawyer Emmanuel Santos. Ontiveros says she did not mention Corona's alleged $10 million accounts in her complaint to the Ombudsman. She adds the evidence she attached to her petition were all gathered from the impeachment trial.
Ang purpose po namin, Your Honor, sa pagsulat kay Ombudsman Morales ay hilingin bilang mga mamamayan, hilingin na imbestigahan ng Office of the Ombudsman yung issue ng dollar accounts, alang-alang sa full accountability. At masaya po ako, Your Honor, na hindi kami nabigo. Ngayon, ang Office of the Ombudsman ay tumutugon sa mga request ng mga mamamayan.
Is one of consistency. The Congresswoman is one of the staunchest allies of Senator Pia Cayetano and myself in our epic struggle to pass the reproductive health bill. The second reason is...
Ontiveros was soon dismissed by the court. Kaya Natin convener Harvey K. receives a severe browbeating from the defense, Senator judges, and presiding officer Juan Ponce Enrile. Defense counsel Dennis Manalo grills K. about anonymous documents he sent to presiding officer Enrile.
Are you an employee of any of these banks?
No, Your Honor.
So you cannot guarantee the accuracy of any of the accounts or the entries mentioned in those documents, is it not?
Already answered, Your Honor.
What was his answer?
Sustain. He said so in his covering letter.
In other words, Mr. K, gawa-gawa mo lang itong mga dokumentong to, is it not? Let me ask him directly, Your Honor. Are you the one who prepared these documents?
No, Your Honor.
But I felt insulted.
Enrile asks K. why did he send the documents to his office, and why did K. bring a TV crew with him?
But I felt insulted and offended.
I would like to first express my sincere apologies if you felt insulted.
But I felt insulted and offended.
And the Senate President orders K. to, quote, show cause why he should not be held in contempt for attempting to influence an officer of the court.
You, Mr. K., along with several others, accompanied by a TV media group, went to my office and presented this to my receiving clerk. What was your purpose in giving this to me and in a sealed envelope with a television crew accompanying you? Yes, but you had
nagpa-fill out po ng membership forms, Your Honor.
Di pumunta sila, kusa sa iyo. Tapos sinasabi nila, gusto namin membro na kaya natin. Yan ba ibig mong sabihin?
Your Honor, meron po kaming caravan of good governance sa mga...
Sus, ang dami mo termino. Meron kang champion. Yung pala ang champion ay kasapi nyo. Meron kayong caravan. Yung pala ay grupo lang ninyo. Is that good governance? You're trying to mislead the Filipino public with your prestige or your influence, even only on the basis of numericality, only on the basis of numbers. You're now in danger. You're now in jeopardy of being charged criminally. Kaya you're actually using your organization, so-called, if it exists, so that you can lay the foundations and make the Senate party to your machinations for a second impeachment complaint. That is my...
Ke was also questioned by Senator Jinggoy Estrada, who zeroed in on his alleged grandstanding for the media.
Last week.
2 weeks ago po, Your Honor.
2 weeks ago. Okay. When you receive these documents, I hope you will answer this truthfully because you're under oath. Ikaw ba nagtatawagan mo reporter para ilako ang storya mo?
Your Honor, if sa totoo lang po, if I wanted publicity, dapat sa totoo lang po, nagtawag na lang po ako ng press conference.
Ikaw nga nagtawag doon sa opisina ni Senate President, you don't want publicity. Meron ka bang tinawagang mga reporter?
As far as I can remember, wala po akong tinawagang reporter. Meron lang po akong tinext, yung kaibigan ko po sa Abante po, si Mr. Makasait. Nabanggit ko po. Opo.
Kanino?
Sa kaibigan ko po, si Miss Tina Dumlao.
Gusto mong pasulat sa kanya para tuloy masira yung kinamumuhian mo, yung respondent dito sa kasong ito.
And then now you admitted that you are trying to call reporters.
Sinungaling ka.
Former Isabela Governor Grace Padaka laments the way Kaya Natin convener Ke was treated in the impeachment court. In tears, Padaka asks, in a country where you cannot fight justice face-to-face, the lawmakers are furious over anonymous sources.
Mahirap lumaban sa katotohanan because Harvey is not just a lead convener of Kaya Natin, he is also, diba, assigned by the Ateneo for their youth programs. He is a leader of the Asia Society. He wears many hats, and many, or if not all of these hats, is for youth empowerment, citizen empowerment. Diba? Yun lang naman pagiging mabuting Pilipino eh.
Ba't kaya naiyak?
Galit. Parang anonymous. Parang galit na galit sila sa anonymous. We have a country where ang justice, hindi ka makakalaban ng harapan. Diba? Yung bang ikaw na nga yung ikaw na nga yung merong gustong ipaglaban. Ikaw pa yung masama. So, what kind of a country do we have? Dapat.
Let's go to the Senate to talk to Rappler Senate reporter Ayi Makaraig. We've confirmed that the Chief Justice will testify when the court resumes Tuesday. Ayi, you talked to the defense. How do they feel?
Maria, they are saying that Chief Justice Renato Corona will not go down without a fight. This is a statement of lead defense counsel Serafin Cuevas on Corona's testimony this Tuesday. He says the biggest issue the Chief Justice will face is his bank deposits because the defense believes it has already established that Corona has 5 and not 45 properties. But contrary to Corona's previous media statements, Cuevas will not promise that the Chief Justice will disclose his dollar accounts. He says there is still a pending legal battle in the Supreme Court. The defense also calls Ombudsman Morales' testimony as inadmissible in court. They say it was not included in the impeachment complaint and also covers ill-gotten wealth, which has already been ruled out by the Senate. Here is Cuevas' response on whether Corona will disclose his dollar accounts.
We will see, dahil tinitimpla din namin ang takbo ng history. Sino? No, we had... meron nga kaming petition sa Supreme Court. Hindi kung gano'n, dinismiss na namin yun. We were asking that they be joined.
Hindi niyo po ilalabas yung dollar accounts?
Hindi pa kami nagkakausap ng kung anong final decision niya yan.
Ano ba so far justice yung pinag-agreehan nyo na ipe-present niya? To defend
kami ni Chip? Ba, hindi niya may iwasang hindi magpaliwanag niya. Kung matatalo rin lang kami. Matalo na kami lumalaban. Presenta niya ang kanya. Hindi po pwede yung hindi siya kikibo.
What's next for the defense, Maria, is to go over Corona's bank records in the coming days to prepare him for his testimony on Tuesday. That testimony is expected to last 2 days, but the defense admits it cannot control the length of the questions coming from the senator judges. They expect at least 10 out of 23 senators to ask questions of the Chief Justice. Corona will be the very last witness of the defense and in this impeachment trial. Maria?
Thank you. Ay makaraig at the Senate. Lead prosecutor Neil Tupas Jr. says they're ready for the Chief Justice to take the witness stand in his impeachment trial on Tuesday, May 22. The team has yet to decide who will cross-examine Corona, but they already have a short list of 5 prosecutors.
We are ready. Myself, Congressman Fariñas, attorneys Mario Bautista, Art Lim, as well as J.G. Justiniano. We've been preparing for this, and any one of us can do the cross on Tuesday. We'll decide this weekend. The bank accounts will be the first few questions. We're confident.
Well, does the Ombudsman's power to probe public officials override procedures in the Anti-Money Laundering Act, or AMLA? This was the crux of the issue when Senator judges grilled the Ombudsman Tuesday on the scope of her power and its possible abuse. Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago says under AMLA, a bank inquiry can only be conducted after the following process. The AMLC first finds probable cause against a public official, then a complaint is filed with the Department of Justice or the Office of the Cadiz, executive director of the lawyers group Libertas, holds the same view. Quote, the Ombudsman Act and AMLA can precede each other. In the Corona trial, it was the Ombudsman who initiated the fact-finding investigation, thus preceding the AMLAC. A private prosecutor in the impeachment trial of ousted President Joseph Estrada, lawyer Pablito Sanidad, says the authority given to the Ombudsman precedes AMLA because it's stipulated in the 1987 Constitution. Sanidad says constitutional provisions always prevail over any other law. If it was a bluff, it certainly backfired. This is the opening line in Dean Tony Lavina's blog on Rappler.com. Lavina says the defense strategy to summon Ombudsman Morales boomeranged. The Dean of Ateneo's School of Governance says, quote, perhaps by now many are entertaining the suspicion that the millions of dollars are owned by somebody else other than the Chief Justice, that he was a mere dummy, a bagman, a depository of sorts. The latest statement by the Ombudsman that significant transactions coincided with certain significant events, such as the elections or the filing of the impeachment case, give credence to these insinuations. It is not yet game over, but certainly the game has changed. The bar the Chief Justice must hurdle to be acquitted is much higher now than before Morales testified. Using her powers in the Constitution and existing law, she has opened a pathway to transparency and accountability we have never seen before. Read more of Dean Lavina's views on Rappler.com in Thought Leaders. World boxing champion Manny Pacquiao looks like he's getting pummeled after speaking his mind on gay marriage. In an interview with the National Conservative Examiner, Pacquiao criticizes U.S. President Obama's support for gay marriage. The Sarangani representative says, quote, "God's words first. Obey God's law first before considering the laws of man." The report referred to a biblical quote from Leviticus saying, quote, "If a man lies with a man as one lies with a woman, they must be put to death." Pacquiao's statement enrages the LGBT community. The group Gay Marriage USA initiates an online petition for sportswear supplier Nike to end sponsorship of the 8th World Division champion. The gay community, a strong presence online, hit Pacquiao repeatedly in the virtual world. Celebrity makeup artist Jigs Mayuga tweets, "I'm so angry. This statement from Pacquiao will resonate to his million fans who will think it's cool that gay men should be put to death." Twitter user Ralph Thomas comments, "You cannot please everybody," and says Pacquiao is just being true to his faith and belief in the Bible. Rappler looks back at the 10 best moments of the 2012 Palarong Pambansa. At number 10 on our list, lights filled the sky as thousands of athletes gathered and released sky lanterns in the closing ceremonies. Number 9, the Special Games reminds us no obstacle is too big to overcome. You have to try. At 8th, Belgian-Chinese Maureen Emily Shrivers breaks the secondary girls' high jump record, clearing 1.62 meters and finishing first in every event she competed in. At 7th, rivalry continues as Western Visayas faces off with NCR in the secondary girls volleyball finals. The two regions have met in the finals since 2008. NCR took home this year's title. At 6th, President Aquino opens Palarong Pambansa and promises an increased commitment to developing sports in the Philippines. At 5th, Central Visayan archer Carl Christian Mari breaks 4 Palaro archery records, helping his region take the secondary boys archery title for the 2nd year in a row. Number 4, barefoot sprinter Dexter Galos of Western Visayas overtakes Cars Arnold Gallup to take home the first gold medal of this year's Palarong Pambansa. Galos beat Gallup by a fraction of a second. At 3rd, after a year-long break from Palaro, NCR's Delia Cordero rejoins the competition in glorious fashion, breaking 2 swim records this year. At number 2, Angelica De Josef of Western Visayas breaks 2 records running barefoot through the tracks in Pangasinan. She also won 2 gold medals for her team. And finally, at number 1, the most inspiring story for Rappler this year in the Palaro, athletes from Cagayan de Oro and Iligan, the cities hardest hit by Tropical Storm Sendong, dedicate their performance this year to their loved ones killed by the devastating calamity. They finished among the top 5, one of their best performances in years. Well, let's go on to the next story. Gozon, the owner of GMA, owners okay to sell, other buyers eyeing GMA7. Amid talks of a possible deal between the 2nd and 3rd largest media groups in the country, Gozon tells reporters that their group is willing to sell GMA7 if the right price is offered. Strangely enough, while this has been hotly talked about among the journalist community, you have 57% don't care on the mood meter and 14% sad and amused. Gozon says that businessman Manuel Pangilinan of PLDT and TV5 has been interested in GMA since he tried to negotiate a deal nearly a decade ago. Pangilinan denies ongoing negotiations at this time but expressed varying degrees of interest last year. Pangilinan holds massive communications infrastructure that could help GMA7 since the group has no cable or broadband assets. The 3 families who own GMA7, as I said earlier, have agreed to sell their nearly 75% stake for the right price. Let's now look at Rappler's Wrap for today, a list of the 10 most important events around the world you shouldn't miss. At number 3, newly inaugurated French President François Hollande went straight to business on Tuesday, flying to meet German Chancellor Angela Merkel to discuss the debt crisis in the Eurozone. France and Germany are the largest economies in the EU. Both leaders pledged to work together and prepare for a regional meeting next week. Fueling the uncertainty at number 5, Greek elections again. Greece's future in the Eurozone is in doubt after a last-ditch effort to form a government failed 10 days after its last elections. This political limbo until elections next month is increasing anxiety. Depositors withdraw nearly $900 million on Monday alone. At number 8, researchers develop a new generator that can produce electricity simply by pressing a finger on genetically engineered viruses. The M13 virus, when coated on an electrode, can produce enough energy equivalent to a quarter of a AAA battery. That's enough power to make one digit appear on an LCD display. And at number 9, Indonesian police cancel Lady Gaga's concert scheduled for June 3 after Indonesia's hardline Islamic Defenders Front, known by its Indonesian acronym FPI, warned of violence if Mother Monster, whom they call the Devil's Messenger, arrives. Fans started #Indonesia Saves Gaga to try to overturn the police decision. Well, that's Rappler's newscast for today, Wednesday, May 16th, 2012. Visit Rappler.com and watch our newscast Monday to Friday. Tell us how you feel on our mood meter. I'm Maria Ressa. As we say at Rappler, tomorrow begins today.